हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आज के इस क्लास में हम करने वाले हैं फाइल या आपके ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की यूनिट 5 है बीटेक सेमेस्टर 5 की। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं इस यूनिट को। तो फाइल क्या होता है? फाइल इज़ अ कलेक्शन ऑफ डेटा और इन्फॉर्मेशन दैट इज स्टोर्ड ऑन अ कंप्यूटर और डिजिटल डिवाइस। ठीक है, जैसे आप अपने लैपटॉप में फाइल्स के फॉर्म में जो स्टोर करते हो, फाइल्स के अंदर आप अलग अलग डेटा स्टोर कर सकते हो, सच एज टेक्स्ट, इमेजेस, वीडियो, सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोग्राम एंड मोर। They are used to store information that can be retrieved और processed by software application। ये क्या होती है? फाइल्स ऐसी इंफॉर्मेशन को स्टोर करती है जो आप सॉफ्टवेयर एप्लीकेशंस के थ्रू रिट्राइव कर सकते हो या प्रोसेस कर सकते हो। जैसे आप अपने वीएलसी मीडिया प्लेयर के थ्रू, वीएलसी मीडिया प्लेयर इज द सॉफ्टवेयर एंड द video in your file are the data. So through the VLC media player you can access those files, है ना? those videos files are accessible by those softwares. Files are managed and organized by an operating system which is OS in acronym, and each file has a specific name and is stored in a specific location. तो हर फाइल का एक स्पेसिफिक नेम होता है और उसका एक स्पेसिफिक लोकेशन होता है। ठीक है। फाइल एट्रीब्यूट्स, अब व्हाट आर फाइल एट्रीब्यूट्स? फाइल के कुछ कुछ ऐसे प्रॉपर्टीज़ होते हैं जिन्हें अपन फाइल एट्रीब्यूट्स कहते हैं। ऐसे हमारे पास 10 प्रॉपर्टीज़ हैं जो है फाइल नेम। ओके, तो फाइल नेम क्या होता है कि आपको मैं मेरे लैपटॉप में दिखाता हूँ। मेरे लैपटॉप में यहाँ पर ये एक फ़ाइल है, लाइब्रेरी, है ना? तो लाइब्रेरी इज़ द नेम ऑफ द फाइल। ओके, एंड व्हाट्स द लोकेशन ऑफ दिस फाइल? द लोकेशन इज डेस्कटॉप। ओके, सो फाइल टाइप, व्हाट इज़ अ फाइल टाइप? फाइल टाइप अलग अलग तरीके के हो सकते हैं कि भाई आपके पास एक टेक्स्ट फाइल है या इमेज फाइल है या वीडियो फाइल है, सो दैट इज़ कॉल्ड अ फाइल, है ना? नाउ व्हाट इज़ साइज? साइज उसका होता है कि वो कितना स्टोरेज आपके कंज्यूम कर रहा है आपके डिस्क में, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड द साइज। ठीक है, इसको अपन कॉमनली मेजर करते हैं किलो बाइट्स में, मेगा बाइट्स में, है ना? और आजकल जो 4K वीडियोस होती है वो जीबी में भी होती है। सो नाउ क्रिएशन डेट टाइम, किस डेट पे वो क्रिएट की गई है, दैट इज़ ऑल्सो एन एट्रीब्यूट ऑफ द फाइल। लास्ट मॉडिफाइड डेट एंड टाइम, दिस इज ऑल्सो एन एट्रीब्यूट। एक्सेस डेट, on which date the file was last accessed is called the access date time of the file. Permissions, so there are three types of permissions which are read, write and execute. So अगर आपकी फ़ाइल को ओनली रीड करने का ही वो है, अगर आप उसमें कुछ मॉडिफिकेशंस नहीं कर सकते हो फाइल के अंदर, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड रीड परमिशन। अगर आप उसके अंदर लिख राइट कर सकते हो, मीन्स कि आप उसको मॉडिफाई कर सकते हो, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड राइट परमिशन। एंड एग्जीक्यूट परमिशन इज़ इफ़ द फाइल कैन बी रन, अगर आप उस फाइल को एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हो तो एग्जीक्यूट परमिशन भी उसमें एक एट्रीब्यूट होता है। नाउ हु इज़ द ओनर ऑफ द फाइल? द यूज़र हु क्रिएटेड और ओन्स द फाइल इज कॉल्ड द ओनर ऑफ द फाइल। फाइल लोकेशन, जिस लोकेशन में वो सेव्ड है वो भी उसका एक एट्रीब्यूट होता है, द फाइल लोकेशन इज ऑल्सो एन एट्रीब्यूट। नाउ व्हाट इज फाइल आईडी? द लास्ट एट्रीब्यूट इज फाइल आईडी। इट इज़ अ यूनिक आइडेंटिफायर असाइंड बाय द ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम। ठीक है, मतलब ये क्या होता है कि एक आइडेंटिफायर होता है जिससे वो फाइल को ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम एक्सेस करता है। नाउ व्हाट आर द टाइप्स ऑफ फाइल? Files can be classified into several types based on their content and use. Common file types include text files such as .txt files, .csv files, .log files, जिसमें आप कुछ भी टेक्स्ट फॉर्म में डेटा को स्टोर कर सकते हैं। बाइनरी फाइल्स आर दोज फाइल्स विच आर नॉन टेक्सचुअल डेटा विच कंटेन नॉन टेक्स्ट डेटा सच एज इमेजेस, ऑडियो, वीडियो एंड एग्जीक्यूटेबल फाइल्स, है ना? इनके जो एक्सटेंशंस होते हैं .exe, .jpg, .mp4। नाउ व्हाट आर एग्जीक्यूटेबल फाइल्स? Executable files are those files in which you can execute the program, है ना? मतलब आप उसको एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हो, रन करवा सकते हो। इसके एग्जाम्पल क्या होंगे? .exe, .bat, .sh। नाउ व्हाट आर आर्काइव फाइल्स? आर्काइव फाइल्स आर दोज फाइल्स विच आर कंप्रेस्ड, है ना? यूज टू स्टोर मल्टीपल फाइल्स इन अ कंप्रेस्ड फॉर्म, जैसे .zip फाइल्स, .tar, .rar. Now what are spreadsheets? Spreadsheets contain tabular data and are used for spreadsheet software like .xls, .xlsx, document files used for word processing and may contain text, images, table, etc. like your ms word files है ना, .docx, .pdf. इमेज फाइल्स क्या होती है, जिनके अंदर विजुअल डेटा होता है. ऑडियो फाइल्स होती है जिनके अंदर ऑडियो डेटा होता है. वीडियो फाइल्स वो होती है जिनके अंदर विजुअल और ऑडियो दोनों टाइप का डेटा कंबाइंड फॉर्मेट में होता है. ये इनके रिस्पेक्टिव एक्सटेंशंस है, ये आपको लर्न होने चाहिए. Now, what are file operations? There are various operations that can be performed on file. These operations are typically supported by both the operating system and programming languages for file manipulation. Now, what are the operations? These are create. The process by which a new file is created is called create operation. Open operation is used to read the existing file, accessing an existing file to read or modify its content. Now the access part is called opening. The reading part is called retrieving data from the file. The write is called modifying or adding new content to the file. Close is after performing all the operations what you wanted to perform on your file. Now you have to close your file. So for that purpose we have close operation, and we have delete operation also. Like if the file is no more useful to you, you can delete that file, delete that document. Now rename. Now if you want to rename your file, you have rename, है ना. Like there is a old name, example renaming a file from old name to new name. Old name, this is a text file, this is a same text file with a new name. Copy, creating a duplicate of a file in a different location or with different name. Now we can copy an entire file, same content will be there in the new file also, and we can change the location and change the name of the new copied file. Now if you want to transfer the whole file from one location to another location, then we have a move function. Like you want to transfer the data from your laptop to a pen drive, or from pen drive to your laptop, that is called move operation. Change permissions. So in change permission we change the permission of the file, like giving right permission to a file for a particular user. Now this is user oriented operation. If you want someone to access your file, or you want to allow someone to use your file, you can change permissions for that file. Now what is append? Adding new data to the end of an existing file without modifying its current content. Now append is something in which we are adding data without disturbing the already existing data, that is called append. Now there is also another function. So this is a part, maybe, no, this is another function, this is another operation. Looking for a file or specific data within a file is called search operation. Now what are the file accessing methods? This is a new heading, so pay attention to this part. File access methods in an operating system are the technique and processes used to read from and write to files stored on the computer storage device. क्या होता है, if we want to operate or perform any particular operation in a file, we need to access the file. Now to access the file there are some common file access methods that we are going to study in this part. Okay, there are several ways to access this information in the file. Some systems provide only one access method for file. Other systems such as those of IBM support many access methods, and choosing the right one for a particular application is a major design problem. Okay, so accessing a particular file is also a thing. These methods determine how data is organized, retrieved, or modified within a file system. Understanding file access methods is crucial for efficient data management and system performance. Now, file access method is why it is important for the efficient data management and system performance. Like if you want your processor, your operating system to perform in an efficient way, and for data management also, this is important to know the right access method to access your file, है ना. In this article, we are going to discuss different type of methods to access these files. What are the different type of method? We have three methods here: sequential access method, direct access method, and index sequential method. We are going to read the first one. Okay, so first one is very simple. Data is read and written in a sequential manner because its name suggests that sequential access. Sequential means one by one, from a particular point to the end, one by one. This is called a sequence way. Okay, data is read or written in a sequential manner, meaning you have to process the file from beginning to end. That's what I said, you know, from beginning to end in a sequence, one by one. How it works: when opening a file, the file pointer is placed at the beginning. You can only move forward through the file, reading or writing one piece of data at a time. This is called sequential access. Example: what are the examples? Reading a text file line by line. This is called a sequential access. Use case: now suitable for files that need to be processed in a specific order, like log files or CSV files. Okay, now we can discuss about the next access methods, which is direct access or random access. Now the name suggests random. Now you don't need to follow a particular sequence. By the name only you can understand that what type of access method it is. Allow data to read or write directly at any position in the file. The file pointer can be moved freely to any location in the file, allowing random access to the data. Now this is much efficient. You can see, like, if we are these this is let we study the use case. Useful for databases, large data sets, or when the file size is large, you need to access to a specific part of the file. Now if the data set, suppose the data set is very large and you want to access some part which is in middle of the whole data. So now if you want to access that part, you have to follow a sequence in this. So for efficient access you can use this, right? How it works: in random access, you can seek to any location in the file and perform read write operation. Typically the file is structured so that you know the location of data in the file. Okay, now what are the example? Database system or large file with fixed length records where you need to jump to a specific record. Okay, now what is the third type? It is indexed access. The file has an index that allow direct access to the specific data entries. The index serves as a lookup table to quickly find where specific pieces of data are located within the file. Now how it works: the file is often structured with a separate index file that maps keys or data identifier to specific location within the main data file. File system or database system like SQLite, where an index help quickly locate records. Now what is the use case? Ideal for large files with multiple types of data and the need for efficient searching and retrieval. Okay, so this is also a type of random access method of file in which you can access any part by the use of index. You need to know the index of the data, of the particular data that you want to access. Now we will look up the next title, which is file security. Now you know that data is very important in the modern time, and from the ancient time also data is very valuable. Now what the file contain? The file contain the data only. Now you have to secure the data also, and to secure the data you have to secure the complete file, which uh, which we are going to study in this part. File security concept refer to the practice, technique, and technologies used to protect files and data from unauthorized access. Now what is unauthorized access? The access which is not allowed. The access which is not allowed is called unauthorized access. Now for example, I'm working in a company and the data of the company is accessible by me because I'm authorized user of that company. Now, if my laptop or my PC is accessible to a third party person which is not belonging to our company, so that will be an unauthorized access. Okay.